Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third episode of the Spooked Up podcast. And now, I do have a guest who will be coming on. Continuing from last session with GSI, I was out there filming up at Scottsdale Hall, as you have seen. Now, that was a pretty amazing video to record. I have been away doing some bits. I've not been uploading as much as you can tell. I've just been more or less trying to get things sorted and kind of get things into place. Now my insurance has run out. Now that'll be a thing of next month. I'll also be getting a night vision camera as well. I'll be putting a deposit for that. But yeah, expect really great things, especially the season finale, possibly, depending. Let me just turn this down. Depending on the either it's going to be this end of this year, or it's going to be end of sort of next year, kind of. But I kind of just want to bring it to my attention in a way that no, I am not quitting paranormal. None of you would have assumed that, but it's just a thing that I just kind of want to make sure you guys are just on the right path in a way. Yes, I'm still going to be doing paranormal. A lot of paranormal investigation videos, but the more ones that you'll be seeing is ones of me at my workplace, which is a museum of curiosities. I will go into more of them, but yeah, I have my book here, which I have kind of wrote down like a few chapters of like things about like things that I have learned, you know, including the paranormal itself. The guest is Josie. I will introduce her in a sec. I am in VC at the minute doing kind of doing like an intro kind of thing. So if you ever see me eat or drink, it's because I'm a bit hungry. I've not had food. Well, I have had food. I'm not saying I haven't, but I think let's just say this. Today is going to be a really good one. We'll be sharing experiences. I will be looking more into my investigation videos as well and share my personal experiences, which is going to be kind of cool. I'll be reading some stuff about the Warrens, some research that I found on the upside down or inverted cross, and giving you kind of like a history of behind the scenes of the museum, what I do, and kind of giving you a rundown of that kind of thing. So I'm just kind of sitting here in VC, just kind of waiting. But yes, hi, my name is River the Viking. I am an apprentice paranormal investigator on my way to becoming a paranormal investigator. I go out, I record. Sometimes, if I can't record, I will do live streams. I do have merch. I will be merch promoting probably in the middle of the video. So yeah, if that does happen, that is for that reason, because I do have the jumper and I do have the t-shirt with me. Yeah. That design itself, I'm going to be looking towards changing a little bit. Have they joined? Oh, yeah, they've joined. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
It's going good. It's going good. It's going good.
Good to know.
Share this screen. Okay, I can't get Discord to.
Wait, how are you filming this on like OBS or something?
Yes, I am filming
Uh,
this on OBS. Um, you're gonna have to kind of deal with this side profile, whereas, yeah. So yeah, let's. I'm trying. Remove. Yes. Okay. 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 Maybe not. Okay.
what are you setting up?
Hmm. Okay. It can pick you up. Weirdly enough.
You can turn my volume up on Discord, because usually with the mic I have on, people always turn me up to 120.
It's not just. I think it's like the. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, I'm still able to share screen on this. Sorry, guys. This is my kind of like second time recording from home.
From home.
So yes, I might have to do a display capture.
Where do you usually record this at then? At the museum?
No. Okay. There we go. No, kind of. So that's more like paranormal. And that's like where I work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to have to be more. Da, da. Da, da, da. Flip screen. Okay, it's. Oh God. kind of done it in a weird way. Um,
How is your mic not picking up your fan? Because it's literally next to you.
yeah, I know. I've got a noise suppressor on.
That's a crazy noise suppressor if it cancels out your fan when it's that close.
I know. Alright. Let me just get rid of the display capture anyway. Alright, window capture. Yes. Because I can't really. Let me try. Discord. That's weird. That is weird. Oh, weird. Window capture. Oh no, that's window. Why is it taking so long?
No clue. You're setting up window capture on OBS.
Oh yeah, probably. There we go. Here we go, chat. Is that gonna? Oh no. Is that gonna? Oh dear. Okay, that can. But will it? Okay. Okay, this is. Okay. This is kind of what we've got to deal with. But I don't think it matters anyway. Yeah, so how do you want to do this? Where do you want to start?
Maybe introductions first?
Yeah. I've kind of like introduced you in a way. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
So my name is Josie, 26. I'm currently living in the Netherlands, but I grew up in Scotland when I was younger. Right now, I'm still a student. I am studying music and education, so I am studying music, and I'm also a singer-songwriter. That's my job, kind of. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ooh. Let me just change that. So come on, let me. Okay, there we go. So yeah. Yeah. You've shared a bit of experiences. Well, not yourself, your friends. Really.
So I shared an experience with one of my friends, and I have had experiences myself. Mostly, I had them when I was younger,
Yeah.
and there's a reason for that as well. I guess like most of the experience started when my dad passed away at a young age. So that's like kind of like
Okay.
when some stuff happened, but I never really had a reason for it. for it or like an explanation, and then I had a talk about it with my mom,
Yeah,
and then like a lot of things like came up, a lot of the stories, experiences that have happened, and she said that she got in contact with a medium when I was younger,
yeah,
and then yeah, everything kind of like got an explanation to why stuff was happening.
yeah. Which does make sense. When you're a young age, this is from what I've learned from being at the museum and from like actual professionals themselves, as I've spent my whole of last year around that. Still am. When you're younger, from a young age, kids are more susceptible to the paranormal um, than adults are. So like some adults will carry it on in, kids will carry on later in life. Some will just like kind of lose that gift. And I think that's how we get the whole world of mediums and psychics that are about today because of that
Mm-hmm.
phenomena. Um, but going to a spiritualist, anyone that comes in the museum that is wanting to kind of, you know, wanting to be psychic, medium, or something like that, I do advise. Because I'm not a professional myself, I can't say anything. All I can do is advise them to kind of go in that direction of spiritual, go to a spiritual church, which is, because there will be mediums there. But I think in that sense, yeah, it is great that your mum went to that medium to try and figure out what it was, and see if, which was nice. But was there a lot of correlation to what the medium was saying and what was happening?
Yeah, there was correlation. So there's like like a couple of experiences that I've had. One of them was separate from my dad passing. I was really young at that time. I don't even remember what age I was at the time, but I was really young, and I used to
Yeah.
sleep in the attic when I was
Okay.
like really really small. And
Yeah.
I had moments where I would wake up during the evening and I would see a lady sitting in the corner of my room,
Yeah.
and my mum, she got a medium to come around, and then she did say there was like a woman that like chills in the attic, and my father's nan used to live beside us, next like the house next to us, and
Yeah.
she passed away in the attic, the house next to us. So the
Yeah.
way I explained what she looked like and everything to my mom, she said like, oh, that's your dad's nan. And yeah, the medium also said like there's someone like in your attic. And I literally found that out when I was probably 21,
Yeah.
when we finally
So
had a conversation about it.
so old so how old was you when, you described, just out of like curiosity and stuff, because you're a lot older now compared to that.
Yeah, so when it happened, I was below the age of 10. So I
Okay,
was
so
I
yeah.
was young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that
Um
that scared the shit out of me when I was younger. So I
so
never
so
really forgot that experience.
no one does. No one forgets their first ever paranormal experience. Like I had my first paranormal experience like below the age of 10, like completely. In this like rundown house when my mum was alive, and you know, um, and it was like a genuine scary thing. And I feel like we get a lot of people that come in that either believe or that are also into horror films as well.
Mhm.
I'm one of them people that absolutely hates horror films. No matter what it is, you will not sit me. You cannot pay me a lot of money to get me to watch horror film at all. I
I'm the
will not do
opposite.
it. And a lot of people are like, but you're working here in the museum. Yes, I grew up on the paranormal. I grew up watching Steve, the owner of the museum, because he used to film for Amazon Prime. Most Haunted, Zach Baggins. I grew
Mhm.
up with that specific side. Um, but yeah, I think another major thing, a lot of people will not forget, especially adults, will never forget playing a Ouija board and something going wrong. And I think that is a major thing.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Um, I don't know if you've ever played it. I'm just like putting out that as like one of the things that.
Um, I have, but I've done it in a way where it was safer instead of just
Yeah.
doing it for the jokes. My mum did it, and she used it very wrongly in a really bad way, and it's still haunting her. So
Okay. So like,
she she asked how she would die, and that didn't really come
oh
out so well. Yeah, it's
yeah,
the
that
dumbest
that
question
is
you can ask.
that is one of the questions you're not allowed to ask. You cannot
Yeah,
ask if your family's there, or about the afterlife during the investigations. You cannot be asking any of them questions.
yeah,
Obviously, I'm guessing your mum played it when she was really young,
yeah, she did.
and that makes a lot of sense because adults who do bring their children into the museum are telling their kids no Ouija boards in the house
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
100%.
But like if we ever do go through a couple of my videos, which I probably think we will, you will see me using an Ouija board. But I have been taught professionally to use it. Um, but there is going to be a video out there when after I've got my insurance back and done a few investigations more. Um, I have gotten special permission to use the Ouija board solely alone for pure evidence.
Mhm.
Um, from the owner himself of the museum, I got permission to do that, uh, and I'm going to do that. But Ouija boards themselves are not dangerous if not used in the wrong way. Like you said, you used it in a safe way where it was controlled, which is good. You've definitely got to have two or more people with you
Mhm.
for a definite, just so you know nothing happens. Um, if you don't know how to use it, for the people out there, do your research because there is a lot of evidence that adults will never go near one of these boards because they have messed with it wrongly. But yeah, I think starting to go back onto more the paranormal side.
Mhm.
How did you like come about the paranormal? Like started like getting
So
really interested in it.
So I think I've always been fascinated by it. When I was younger, I used to watch a lot of horror movies and I was always so intrigued by it. And
Yeah,
then I stumbled back into it when I got older because when like a couple years after my dad passed away, I just had questions and things that I wanted to know. And
yeah,
then my nan also passed away and stuff was happening then because
okay,
right before she passed away, she was kind of like hugging somebody, but she was hugging the air, of course. That's what it looked like to me. But it
yeah,
looked like she was hugging someone. And usually, when
yeah,
somebody passes away, right before they pass away, they see their loved ones when they pass over. So that
yeah,
really intrigued me. And just a lot of experiences I've had, I just wanted answers to, and I've talked with mediums as well. And they all have said that apparently I have have something like as in a gift or something that I wouldn't say medium, but there's something within me, I guess, that they said that I should look at.
okay,
Um, and yeah, I've just always been intrigued by it and always stumbled back into it. There are moments where I'm like I need to step away from it a little bit because sometimes you can get into this negative headspace with it if you're not
yeah,
careful with it. So that's when I like step away. But now, yeah, again, fully immersed in it. And I just watch a lot of investigations. Sam McColby used to watch Zach as well.
yeah,
And I have been to paranormal places as well.
yeah.
So yeah, always been interesting.
Yeah, I think now, as you have mentioned, Sam and Colby, it, I think they are going to be one of the key subjects of kind of like today's podcast, as it kind of explores like we'll watch a bit of them and they'll like kind of see how it differentiates between me and them. But I think with them, I started getting back into it in 20. I started getting into it in 2019, and I used to go some for completely for fun. And then February last year, that was when I kind of been working at the museum for like a few months, and then February was when I recorded my first, excuse me, first ever paranormal investigation video at all. I was really nervous. Though, you know, and it was at the museum, like not recorded, like out of like four walls, pretty much, like outside of a home or like an office or that kind of thing. And that was just like really challenging experience, but it was a nice experience. But going back to Sam Colby, um, with them, it's getting kind of. I'm not saying they're completely fake, but in a way, they are getting kind of hard to believe, as they are just more releasing things for entertainment side, just like how Zach is doing. And this is me putting a complete bad name on Zach because he is very arrogant. His contract is really, really bad. I think it was Nick that recently left the
Yeah.
the team. But how Nick did that was that he had to buy himself out. That's how you literally get out of Zach's contracts. You pay a certain amount to completely get out. And the fact that Zach has the nerve to try and fake things. Um, you know, he's took a turn for the worse. Which I think, you know, if he stayed the way that he used to be when he first started out, he would have still been loved to this day. Had a lot more people have trust in him. Um, he would be a lot better as a investigator rather than this arrogant person, fake TV personality guy. As there was an actual incident that involved the rapper Post Malone back in June 2018 with a Dibbit box, which my museum does have four of, but the owner is a demonologist, so he knows how to deal with darker and demons, that kind of thing. So if you ever come to the Museum of Curiosities in Nottingham, you are safe completely. Can't guarantee something won't happen, because it will. But it's just fact that we're not going to put you in danger. And the team itself, whether it's behind the scenes or the staff that are on duty, it's like we have CCTV, we have an eye on you just in case anything happens. Going back to some Colby, they started off so well, and then they've just kind of built it up to where it's now more entertainment. And that was like, I think it was like last year or something, where I don't know if you remember. It was like last year where they sold out everywhere in theaters across the US for a film that they did. I don't know if you remember that.
I mean, I remember that they did that, yeah.
Yeah. Now that's like kind of saying something like, you're only releasing it to the US, and why aren't you releasing it to the world? You say you want to do this for YouTube, do this to share the stories and all this and that, but you you're putting yourself in a position where you're becoming more filmmakers and telling us more of a unnatural story, and kind of like, I get as an investigator, you've got to keep the hype up, you've got to laugh and keep things going, keep the energy up. I get that, but it's the fact that with the power of magic of editing, as I've edited a few bits myself, it's honestly unbelievable how, like, I'm not saying that they're still fake, that they're completely fake. It's just that they need to bring more naturalness to them, be less TV personalities and more how they used to be. Because I do like their old kind of styled videos where they're just going into it, telling the history. And I do like that. Sam, he needs a bit of self-control really, because if he's pushing things, he is going in the wrong way. Absolutely
Which he
wrong way.
has.
Yeah, because I think it was when they went to them
Robert the
3
Doll.
locations. Robert the Doll, Annabelle herself,
Mm-hmm.
and Peggy. That was so wrong, and I'm glad Colby and Sam did eventually talk it out. It was one of them things that I feel for Colby when he does things alone, because it's one of them things where he believes he's an empath. He's scared. I get that. But I think with Sam pushing more and more, he's becoming more arrogant as he goes along, and he the more you push for things, the more it's the more way I say it, the more you push for things, the more it's never gonna happen. It's like last year or early this year or something like that. I did a actual live stream investigation on over live on TikTok itself, and I was kind of pushing for, because there was a lot of dark entities in this, like in the basement of this place, of this like was shot, but like I was making it use its powers, because I know it has power, and I know these things have power if and I want them to use it on, if they can, they can. But I think I did become a little bit arrogant in that video, but not as much as what Sam did. Like, I think if you're gonna be arrogant, I think you should just stop completely, take a break, think about what you're doing and how you are sharing it to the world. And that's my most important piece to Sam Goldbach out there. Colby, he's kind of doing nothing wrong. I think he's more or less rolling with things. Whereas Sam, he just needs to slow down on everything. Because I think they've got a video coming out in 2 days. So I think I probably might watch that, see how they go on, and then yeah.
The thing what happened is I think it was the investigation where they were with Robert the Doll, and Sam was pushing boundaries and getting them both in a situation which can be very harmful for both of them. And I feel like when you are investigating the paranormal, you should think about what you want to accomplish and why you're there, because Sam eventually got into this mindset that he still doesn't believe in the paranormal and he just wants to see something so obnoxious that makes him believe that it's real. And you really need to be careful with those type of things, because especially like they were in Zach's museum as well. Like there are things in there that are so harmful and can literally destroy a person. And I think that people forget that sometimes, that you're really stepping into something which is quite a scary place if you don't do it in a controlled way.
You're also another thing that I'll just put on quickly adding on. When you go into these haunted places, you're stepping into the spirits' home, because that's where they reside. This is their home, and going back to when Sam was with Robert, this was completely after Colby legitimately was reading off his apology to Robert, because obviously there was that whole situation with Colby and the cancer thing, like last about a year or two ago, and for Colby to like come back and specifically write that apology, and to probably get that confirmation that Robert did do it, because Colby, you know, wasn't probably meaning to, because I think out of them two, Colby is the more respective one, whereas Sam is just push, push, push. And I think that was kind of disrespectful. But yeah, it's like I'm agreeing with you here. It's like you can't be doing this. Like, I mean, I've had it times where I've investigated and the spirits are like having a go at each other. I'm like, dude. I even say this, like, if they're not going to be respectful to each other, I'm just gonna stop. Because I'm being respectful to them, and they're being respectful. Like, I'd rather everyone be respectful to everyone, no matter what kind of world it's in. That's how I work. I'm like, if two spirits are fine, I'm just like, you know, just stop it. And they actually do weirdly listen, which is pretty funny. But yeah, the darker spirits, you like what I tell everyone is, no matter what spirit you come into contact with, whether they are light or dark, just be respectful, because you don't know the spirit itself. You don't know what they can do if they did use that full power.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I may. Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is I am actually gonna start at I don't even know which um video to even start at for the investigations, because I've got like 4. And I've got like two podcasts. Would you want to start at the very first podcast? Not podcast. The very first video, and I'll kind of like skip through each room, like shorten it down for you. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I can actually share my screen. Lie.
Yep.
Yep. So for everyone on YouTube, yeah. Don't know. Uh, let me just see if I can. I'll just. Okay, so. Well. What's up, guys? It's River the. So, I will skip ahead. What is currently happening at the start? Obviously, I'm doing the intro. But what's the important thing here is these rooms. Now, this is pre what it is now. This is like February time. No, March. I just kind of stuck all this together a year ago. Yeah, March. Filmed in February, did it in March. None of these people were mentioned, I promise.
That's crazy.
Yeah, none of these people. Oliver Cromwell is mentioned in one of the videos. But yeah, this is kind of like the pre-museum. So like in here, if I can like skip forward. So here is like the Forgotten Cave. So I'll get if I kind of start from here.
Where the nun is?
So I'll kind of explain. So this is our replica prop of the nun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's flashing lights. It's we have a motion sensor. It's just a replica prop, completely. This bit here, Jess, our wedding dress, who I think you might gonna see in some of the new videos. She is sat down there. She's our wedding dress. But yeah, this is like all of this tunnel was dug out. So to kind of give you a backstory of the museum itself, it has been officially running since 2018 under the name when it first started, the museum, the Haunted Museum and Odysseys. The first place it ever opened up was the Majestic Cinema up at Maplehill Top. And it was there for about a year and a half. But because of the building being quite old and the top floor was becoming not very good, not very safe anymore, the museum team had to move out. It is now a Grade 2 listed building. You can still now go and see it, but you can't get in. Then it was moved into Hopkinson's by the Nottingham train station, down in the basement. This is where we had Daz Black himself come. So I don't know if you've seen that video actually.
I have not.
Brilliant video. You a fan of Daz Black?
I'm actually not well known with him.
Okay, so he's how I explain Daz to people who don't know him. He used to be on Vine when it came out. That's how he got big. And then when Vine died, he started doing a lot of horror stuff over on YouTube. He started posting a lot of skits and stuff over on YouTube. So he kind of became famous for that. But also now he's famous for doing his horror videos, horror game videos, styled gameplay, and Daz's reacts. But he's also famous for Daz's ghost hunts. So basically, he just goes out and plays ghost hunts. I will get a video pulled up of that in a second, so I'll probably get a cut for that. And he comes to us and he investigates with Nick and Alex and the team. Nick is only there for season 1, but there were some serious allegations made against Daz himself about his videos on the ghost hunts. Now, no complete fault to Daz himself. His specific problem is his mic. Now, because of the way his mics work, is that it's a condenser mic, and you can kind of say like the noise cancellation on this mic, because I've got a fan, you can't hear that. That's kind of like his is more of a direct noise cancellation mic in a way. So it's like direct, you can only hear him and you can barely hear anything else. If you do manage to hear it, if you've got them super sensitive headphones, but yeah, that's his problems. It's not because it's all fake, it's because of his microphones, which is a problem that he needs to sort out himself. I don't blame him for kind of, wanted him to get his voice heard and stuff, but his problem's just his microphone. But yeah, this is kind of like going back to the museum kind of thing. We was up at Hopkinson's for about a year and a half a bit again. Then we moved here 2nd of January 2023. And we've been there for 2 years now. It is a wonderful building. It is a building on 4 floors, which you'll see kind of throughout the video. But also another thing as well, this building does date back to the Victorian era itself, and we did have a lovely old lady come in, like I think a couple of years ago, and one of the rooms was actually her bedroom. It was our toilet on the 6th floor was her bedroom. But the toilet's gone now. It's been made into a taxidermy room. But here, we don't have much history, as this was filled to the brim with sandstone when we first came. That Steve and the team, this was pre-made, by the way. Saw it because it was gonna use it for. He thought it led to an what do you call it? A cellar downstairs. He wasn't thinking he was gonna find a cave. But it was filled to the brim with sandstone. The previous owners, which was a music shop for 40+ years, known as Windblowers. So he spoke with them. They knew nothing of the cave after like about 3 months of digging everything out. So that includes like going around that corner, which is like how you get in and out of that cave, not through the stairs that you see in front of you. It's that little entrance there. But
Okay.
yeah, we kind of talk about some of the theories, which has been confirmed. So these caves on Derby Road have all been dated back to the 9th century. So they would have been used for storage, would have been used during the times of war, like as an air raid shelter, if people didn't have one. And that, funnily enough, is one of our confirmed theories, that we have confirmed not only in this video itself, but I've done some research into that as well. But yeah, kind of talk about the K2, the cat ball. Got the spirit talker. Like this is like quite long, due to the fact after because we had everything planned out with times and stuff, but because when we was ready to say you'll get to see it in a second. When we was ready to say goodbye, is there anything else you want to say before we leave? It just continues, and that's what made us stay and just continue in that area more than others.
People to sit and worship. Did you create the chairs out of the cave?
So that's our medium at the museum, Andrew. He's no longer there, but what he's going on, sorry to pause it, but what he was going on about is one of the areas, the first area where the double box is, where the nuns and unknown Victorian death mask is. There's a bunch of like seats, and we think that might have been used for prayers, and like the Catholics, or like people who were escaping, that kind of thing. So I was asking about that.
Made it a temple, made it a church. I feel there was a gentleman of faith that we have here. Could we just try and experiment with this? Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I leave you in honour of your belief, which you are now free to practice? Did you understand being a Catholic? And I want, in the name of the Lord, I wish to give you this cross. If I leave the cross next to that device, which is known as the cat ball, if you could light that, please.
Nurse.
Nurse.
Yeah.
Needs a nurse. Yeah.
So guys, that's pretty much it for the first set of the cave. We have really got some great evidence down here tonight. Like honestly, it was just spot on.
Yeah.
After and after.
Yeah, so everything, I know I kind of skipped ahead there, but you can kind of see of where things were going. Weirdly, but I think what was important that day as well is that he was just, everything Andrew was saying, it was responding to him. It was like, there is no way of a coincidence. Like, I spoke with another friend of mine like a good few weeks ago. Complete skeptic. I showed him probably about like a little bit less of that video, like the full, like from the start to like halfway through that first bit, and it completely changed his mind. Like, I got a skeptic to change their minds, like their mind completely. Which was absolutely insane. Now what you're gonna see here is like, oh, like kind of like the next bit, where I'm just kind of say, like, you see it goes on a little bit longer.
And with
This is
with
where
you
I
here
took
helping Andrew, it's honestly, it you know, between us three, it's just gone absolutely amazing.
It was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
But yeah,
I'd just like to thank them for talking
Yeah.
to Andrew, talking to yourself.
yeah,
It's just really amazing at the evidence we are.
So that woman there,
we were actually
she's
getting.
her name's Mary. She's absolutely a
And I'd just
wonderful
like to say
manager out
really
there.
well that
She
the
joins
ones
and
that I'm not
oversees the ghost
experienced
hunts.
as for example Mary is, mate, you've done a lot more than me.
yeah.
But the ones that have done.
But yeah,
That
we
has
are
been
thanking them
the
here because
best evidence
we've
I've
like
ever
set
had,
down
ever.
times and
Yeah.
stuff, and we just
Personally.
kind of needed to
So thank you,
Yeah.
and thank you
get
for
a bit
sharing
of a move on.
that information about your life, and I hope I'll
Um,
give you
Hope
love
to
and
talk
peace.
to you again at some point through the evening.
Yeah, like you can just like follow us about, you know. But yeah, thank you very, very much. If there is anything, go over there.
Go over there.
I was about to say, if there's anything you'd like to say to us lastly, you know.
and then we legit continue to stay down for a good few more minutes.
You know, then I said, let's clear it up because we're not getting any more evidence. We left it for about a couple of
Slows
minutes,
down,
and then it just,
you go to stop and it says something again.
it's like there's something keep.
Because I've got something strange.
So there is something that I deeply, deeply want to talk about. I that tunnel, I absolutely hate it to death. Genuinely, I think of all my experiences, of being there, seeing a fucking shadow figure probably, and seeing an apparition, and hearing footsteps and all this and that. That was, it was not caught on camera, because it's pre-me. But what I do want to say, it is mentioned in the video. So if you did want to go watch the full video, you guys can. I'm just sharing kind of clips. But with that video, there was like, I think this was like generally, I will not talk about it for like 3 months, up until that time where it was like publicly. And it actually scared me to death that like I would just not go in that cave. Because even now it's still emotional. Yeah, everyone's had scary experiences, doors closed and all this and that. Had things happen to them, but I do truly believe that I am one of 3 people that was affected in that tunnel, as Mary was. She only goes down there when she needs to. She can't go down that tunnel. There's like something stopping her. Like, she's the one that helped do that tunnel and dig all of it out. She's the one that helped. And then it's only one day she stopped. And then another one of our colleagues, I don't know that kind of story, but yeah, they struggle to go down in that cave as well.
Did you have a physical reaction to it?
Oh yes, it was a complete physical reaction. Because I went, because as staff we go down because it's a cave, and when people go down there, they bring up sandstone on the stairs and such. So we go down and clean it. I mean, yeah, I've always had that feeling of something being down there in that specific tunnel. Like, it's that extra feeling that you know that it's not just creepy. something's actually there. And one day I went down. Not this was when we had Jess. That's when we kind of like Jess was kind of new down there for like a good couple of months, and not even I just stepped into that tunnel, stood in front of Jess, and I saw the nun's hand showing because usually it is covered up. It was like I think it was like here,
Mhm.
but it kind of like moved, like the sleeve moved up completely a bit, so where it showed more of her fingers. So like about here, and I radioed the manager up that day. Again, one of the other lovely managers that we do have. I radioed them up saying, "Oh, did Steve move it or it happened on its own?" I didn't care if it happened on its own. Pretty cool anyway. As soon as that manager radioed back down to me, as soon as they said, "It's coming to greet you," because they like when I go down to the cave, like I get pranked on. Like they like to, you know, scare me by like saying something, it's me and all this, and prank me because like I get very jumpy and scared easily. So it's like one of them things out of love that they do. But this was one of the times where that prank was like supposed to be just a general prank, and then whatever happened, because I get, oh, it's coming to greet you, haha, very funny. But in that moment, the manager said it's coming to greet you. I felt trapped on literal both sides, and I blacked out for 2 seconds. And then as soon as I come to all my senses came back. I don't. That was the first time I ever properly ran out of the cave itself, out of fear and almost in tears. And that is what
I've
I talk about in this video, which it is out there to this day.
I've probably had 2 experiences like that. One of them was in my apartment that I live in now,
Oh,
and
okay. So
the other one was when I went to Mary King's Close. So for people who've ever been to Edinburgh or haven't, there's back probably in the Victorian era. I'm not sure, so please correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah.
Edinburgh is like a city built on another city. So Mary King's Close is like a city underground. And there's
Ah,
still like houses and everything that still are down underneath Edinburgh. So I went
okay.
to Mary King's Close, and there was one room where they said there was a little girl who still resides in the area, and they leave like presents and stuff for her. And
Yeah.
that was the only single time that I've been touched. I
Yeah.
felt a hand on the back of my on like my lower back, and I felt it so vividly that I turned around and I was looking like, who's standing behind me? There was no one. And then later on, I said like to the person who was doing the tour, I said like I got touched in that room, and she said like, oh, like so many people have been touched in that room. It's completely normal. I was like, okay, great. Other one was in my apartment where I have like mirrors. It's like a wall
Oh,
between my kitchen and my living room. There's mirrors in
so
between that are like a wall.
are the mirrors facing each other?
No, they're not. They're not because my boyfriend's from China, and in Feng Shui it's really not allowed that mirrors are facing each other or are facing like the bedroom, facing the doors. Not allowed. Don't do it.
That's good. That's good.
Doorway hell. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But no,
Because that
there
is
was
a
like
portal.
there's a portal. So I have the this wall, and it's like made out of mirrors that you can move. And
Yeah.
I saw one of the mirrors shake, and I was like, what on earth is going on? And I was looking at it for like 2 minutes, and it kept shaking. So I phoned a friend
Yeah.
who's also into the paranormal, and I said like, I'm literally looking at this mirror right now, and it's shaking right in front of me. And as I was talking about it, the couch I was sitting on shaked so hard that I literally freaked me out. And I've had like feelings in this apartment. There's one specific room that I have issues with, and it's
Yeah.
always one specific corner in that room. And in my had like it's just like a feeling. I just get like a certain feeling that there's something there, and usually it's like a positive one, or usually it's like a negative one. And this is one where I'm like, it took me years to sleep in that room,
Yeah.
and in my head I just like picture like I picture a person. Like I sometimes have that and sometimes don't. This time I had that. I literally saw a specific person in my head, and I talked to a medium about that, and he said
Yeah.
like all the feelings, all the things, all the thoughts you have are real. So I felt understood at that moment.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that
Which is
took me ages to get over.
so I'm guessing this is like, how long have you been living there for? Like, because it seems like if it's
Five
like
years,
now, so it's quite recent.
quite recent. That
Yeah.
was 3 years ago.
God. So like just 2 years
Yeah,
you
and
would.
the medium I spoke to was the medium that my mom used to use, like for a long time, and she hadn't spoken to him for a long time. And then I asked about it, and then she gave me his number, and
Oh,
yeah,
so yeah, so at least you had someone trustworthy,
yeah.
um, that your mum knew quite well, and but yeah, that was God. Did they not going back to that other story, when you
Hmm.
went to the
Marathon's
city?
closed. Hmm.
Yeah. Didn't no one ever tell you that people get touched in that room specifically?
No, because the tour is not about that. The tour is literally about like a historical thing. It's not about it being haunted. So there's in Edinburgh, there's a lot of different tours that are about the paranormal. And if you ever go, there's like one tour that does a tour through the vaults. And what the vaults are is like it's like separate rooms underground, and there used to be like prostitution going on there, witchcraft, so a lot of negative energy, also homeless people sleeping there, dog fights, like stuff that was illegal at the time. And they say that there's a shadow figure there as well. I have had There's one room where they used to do witchcraft, and it's like a circle in the middle of the room, and somebody passed out standing in that circle because it's supposedly the spot where a lot of witches died.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there's another spot that they do in the tour, and it's called the Mackenzie Poltergeist. Um,
Oh, yeah.
which is there's a cemetery in the city where
The
there's
Grey
like
Friars.
yeah, and
I
there's one
know.
area which is there's one area which is closed off, but that's the only tour who has the key. And there's one mausoleum where the Mackenzie Poltergeist resides, and he scratches people. And they have an Instagram page specifically for that. So if people get scratched, like have experiences, they post it on that Instagram.
Oh, so um, I deeply, I kind of know about the whole Greyfriars Cemetery. The reason being
Yeah.
is so was the cemetery Greyfriars Cemetery sign up there when you was there?
I don't remember because I wasn't really looking at that, but there's a cemetery where a lot of the names from Harry Potter are based from. So there's a lot of headstones with names on it, and characters in Harry Potter are named after the people who are lying in that graveyard. Also, there's a story that was on the news a long time ago where children went into the graveyard and they found a skull and they were playing football with it, and it was a big story on the news. Um,
Oh,
so it's that graveyard. And then they have one section which is closed off where people used to, like homeless people used to stay in the winter and they would like die because of the cold. And
yeah,
it's a lot of famous Scottish people that were buried in that
yeah,
area, but it's closed off. And the people that I went on the tour with, they only have the key and they got it from the city.
yeah. So how I know Greyfriars Cemetery is again talking about the sign. We have the actual sign itself in the museum.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Um,
I didn't see the sign. I don't
we
think I
have
did.
the yeah. I did kind of look into the Bobby's story. I tried looking into the Mackenzie poltergeist, but I think I only looked at like people who ask and all that. It's like it's like, is it a myth? Is it like, just some folklore that's been passed on? Is it like one of them
It's
actual
not a
things
myth.
where it
It's
is?
definitely not a myth.
So it's real. So the Mackenzie podcast is actually this podcast who
Yeah. So
um
they have, from what I've gathered from the tour, and what I've experienced myself, because I stood in that mausoleum and I wanted to get out of there as quickly as ever. I didn't
yeah
want to stand in there for too long. I could not bear it. So I walked out earlier than all the rest of the people did in the tour, because I just didn't feel safe.
yeah
There have been like big guys who are like really tall who've just passed out. Um,
yeah.
they would just pass out on the spot. They have had multiple people being scratched, and they have pictures of that as well. So it's definitely not a
Holy
myth.
shit.
It does really happen.
God, like I'm all for possibly like having maybe a little bit of physical contacts, like just all I want is levitate me and I'll believe. I'm that kind of person. Just
Hmm.
levitate me. That I would never be the person to push these spirits in a very arrogant way where they're like I said, going back to earlier, when I did a live investigation where there was supposed demons. I was saying, if you want me to, although I did ignore it 3 times, um, I did say, if you want me to leave, say leave. Said leave, and I still carried on going. And then I'll,
Hmm.
kind of getting towards the end, if you want me to leave, say leave, leave. I still continued in that basement, and one of the pieces of evidence that I got was really, really dark, and down in the basement is where they actually used to burn babies, which is where I was getting one of the
Oh,
K2
man.
spikes, and it was very demonic. Um, there were lights on in the basement. Like I think they might have got turned them off. Um, but because it was just genuinely quiet throughout the night, I was there from like around about 6 p.m. till about 8:30, so like 2.5 hours. Evidence. But like I said, I think I kind of did push it in a way where I was being arrogant, and I said, if you want to make me leave, do something to make me leave. Um, like something to do with the light, like turn the light off, or like smash a light bulb in here, do that kind of thing to really make me want to leave. If you do want me to leave, I think that was like I got told in a respectful way. No, that is not arrogant in all. And this was by like someone who's done ghost hunts a lot longer than me. Um, and it was like but it was quite, and I think I kind of got in that moment where I was like arrogant. Then I've just like kind of chilled out on it a bit, but yeah, this video is like um, but I think it kind of like leads on to maybe like get an attachment, because like things can be attached to places. That's what these things are. They're attached to the place. Like anyone can have attachment from good to dark. I've had an attachment myself, and I tell you now, it's still an unsolved mystery on the whole thing. So how it all started was I have you ever heard of the the Hat Man?
Yeah.
Most dangerous entity on the planet. out of like quite a lot of things. Feeds off of fear and all this kind of thing. I had that as like an attachment. I didn't know what it really was, so like, because I knew how to kind of like keep it away from me, like in the corner, like because I didn't know whether to be scared of it or not. And when I went to the museum one day, I absolutely, not gonna lie, I shit myself. I was shaking because it was like a proper haunted place I've been in. But when I left, because I went back to work the next week. That's how I volunteer. Like I think that's like how I'm working there is because either I asked one of the managers or the managers asked me, and I started working there the next week for like a shadow shift. Brilliant. But yeah, that day after I left the museum for that first time, that weight, that attachment disappeared completely. And I spoke to professionals. I spoke to GSI, who is one of the teams that you've seen that, like, which I will show you in the second podcast. As they are a really nice team. I'll probably put one of their videos as well. Absolutely wonderful team members. Absolutely, John's lovely. Spoke to Cheryl, who at the time when was going to film in Scarsdale, Scarsdale Horse in Sutton. I spoke to her specifically about it. She doesn't have a clue. No investigator has an actual clue on how this thing disappeared. Because there's no explanation for it. I spoke to like another team that I know, again through the museum. It's impossible to figure out where this attachment now has gone. But yeah, if I skip ahead to kind of where things more get interesting. Obviously, I'm down in the cave. Okay. Okay. So, you've heard of a pendulum, right? Pendulum on the board.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
This is the human version. Um, it's like you go forward for, so you're the conduit in essential. Son on the outside. In my case, Mary is asking the questions. I am the conduit. I go back for yes. I go forward for no. I go forward for no. I go back for yes. No, it's the other way around. I go forward for yes. I go back for no. Or it might be. I can't remember which way it was. But this is kind of like we've kind of figured out we're talking to one of our haunted skull, Elizabeth. But when I do the dowsing rods, what we get is it's an Elizabeth, but it's not our Elizabeth, and she's in the corner next to Elizabeth.
You tell me your.
Choose.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Oh, bless you, thank you.
Right, you need
Can
to.
you tell me your direction for yes?
So yeah,
Thank
I
you.
go back for yes.
And your direction for no? Thank you. You okay?
Can I ask you, I've always felt, and historically this has been done to like resurrection now, of body snatchers. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but was your body taken from the grave, Joyce? Lee?
Are you connected in any way to the school which I've not investigated yet?
No.
So yeah, you can kind of see how that works. That method can be easily debunked, but as someone who was there, I was, I'm genuinely like, yes, okay, I'm clumsy, but like, I genuinely was trying to keep myself still. That was like, I felt like my body swaying back and forth. Like, I genuinely could not help it. And like, you know, but I put, yeah, so you can kind of see him here. So this is our unknown skull, the non-investigated, and you got Elizabeth here. This is Spirit Talker. Mary's also got a Spirit Talker because we're doing the dual Spirit Talker method.
It's weird because like, ever since, because I was stood over there.
Yeah.
It feels like something is here in one of these rooms. Or in both of these rooms. Like, I'm getting.
Do you mean us all harm?
So I've got the SB. I've got the
Do
Spirit
you not want
box
us
going
in here?
Can you tell us what was written on this grave?
So this is an actual. I'm not even kidding. So when they first came to this building, they got told about an actual gravestone that was hidden behind a brick wall and cabinet for at least 44 years. That's all they know. First thing they knocked down is that, and they genuinely found that as a real grave. That is a real gravestone, but they just propped it up right, you know, out of respect. But they tried to do a little bit of scrubbing, but because it was so old and so faded, they just could not get a name or anything out of it. But yeah, that is fake.
No problem. I feel they. Yeah.
But I have that.
Yeah.
Ronald's got
Which is weird. Winifred.
I was a cult Winifred.
You came out with the Winifred earlier.
So as you can tell, like, we're getting a lot of names throughout this.
When I looked up.
So like, I don't know who if, but I saw.
It creeps behind you.
Creeps behind you. The grave.
Oh, I just had a.
Head wash.
No, it was like when I looked up, like it was just like face. I saw like a.
Yeah, it's the light.
No, I saw.
I got like a ball of light when I looked up.
So like, I don't know who if, but I saw like a little shadow. Standing in the door.
Zachary.
Zachary.
Zachary, is that you? Did I see you when I turned my head? Did you show yourself to us?
The name as well. What Zachary's given us, it's actually a Jewish name as well. You know.
Yeah.
That was connected to maybe the Jewish religion.
The Dybbuk.
Are you Zachary? Are you? I know we've made communication with. Oh, strangled.
Strangled.
Bless you. I'm sorry.
I
Will
feel like
you
let's
can we-
continue this because it's getting like really bad. But I want to keep going.
Are you alright? You okay?
What did you say?
I feel like I want to discontinue this because it seems like it's getting really bad.
Okay.
Like doing like not nice words coming through.
You alright?
That's why I want to discontinue it. But I'm intrigued to find out.
Yes, so I think, yeah, I still continue, but I think that's the most important thing. I should have just discontinued it from there and not carried on. That was my problem. Something, something actually genuinely did happen to Mary. I now remember. Because it's actually after this this bit where we're all in with the Dybbuk box and the Viking skull and Henry and all this when he were down there. in the bone library, and there was the person that's the other girl that's there. She's gonna remain nameless, or they're gonna remain nameless. They are my ex-friend. And what happened was they saw a shadow figure behind Mary, as well as the medium as well. The medium saw it as well. Like I don't capture it on camera. Like I got told. Like I put the camera down solely just to know what had happened, because I want to make sure everyone's safe. But yeah, we don't know why there was a shadow figure, but there was. And I think I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think I may have recorded it or not. But I think at one point I did start recording just to make sure.
You know, like,
Yeah.
hear the story. What I do feel, I may not be connected to the good boxing end in some.
Right.
Can we just repeat that, please? Because we're absolutely amazed and proud of you for that.
Make this noise for me. I'm just gonna tap on the.
Okay, yeah. So another brilliant thing that I like to do is I like to include, without using the paranormal devices, is actual knocks, because I like to get a response. Now, listen to this. This is amazing. For those on the podcast that are listening to the music right now, I'm sorry, but this evidence is amazing.
This class, can you make this noise?
That was upstairs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
I don't know if you heard that.
Mhm.
Did you hear that?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, can I replay that? Can I playback speed? Like 0.25. Can I? Yeah. Just gonna go back to the video. There's me back to not.
I'm just gonna tap on this glass. Can you make this noise?
That's me. 3 times. Twice. Did you hear it then?
Yeah. I heard
can
like
hear-
heard 2 knocks.
Like you hear the boom, boom. You can hear
Yeah.
everything in slow. It's like as soon as I pull away, it's here.
Yeah.
Like something upstairs like has what? Fallen? If I went back to what? That now?
Glass, can you make this noise?
You can't hear it as clearly. You hear that first thud.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that generally sounded like, as you would have heard, that was a genuine noise. That was amazing. I have seen it in a lot of old Ghost Hunter videos where they used to do that, so that's where that genuine
Mhm.
method came from, as well as Sam and Colby, because they have used it once, and I thought
Mhm.
I'm going to take that method and I'm going to use it for myself, just to try. I did it for the first video, and now I use it for. That is one of that itself. I claim as a piece of equipment, just knocking, because that's what they might know. Because they might not know any of the equipment, and that literally came from upstairs. Like,
That was upstairs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you very much, Zachary.
There's
Many of us.
There's many of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so yeah, that was in correlation to probably we do have a lot of spirits within the museum itself. So I was referring to, so someone was speaking out for one of them, like for them all. Maybe it was Zachary, maybe it was one of our spirits at the time. But we do not have a Zachary in the museum. An item named Zachary. We've got two Tommies, we've got Jack, we've got Lauren, we've got Mojo, we've got Katie, who is a portal. So Zachary could have came from Katie herself, as she is a guardian spirit. We've got the Mare, we've got the Mammon, we've got George, we've got different.
Bless you.
What
That's so
thing was-
amazing that you did that. That's incredible.
So here we go. This is
From the skull
Yeah.
being thrown.
Oh, yeah, good. Yes, good point. Because that's where it was, isn't it?
the dip box that I was on about.
If this is that spirit itself that you just touched.
Or horse. You've got some horse skulls in your eye, and it's ironic, isn't it?
Look, it's gone up again, look. You're all missing it.
Thank you.
I love how this is coming. In fact, even Sam and Colby have had it on their channels. As soon as I pan the camera away, you'll hear the person say, "It's going off." As soon as I pan away, because I'm not only am I looking with the camera away, it's like I'm not getting it myself unless I get it on camera, which is quite crazy.
Bless you.
Could this be the evidence that we captured? Because that's where that's pointing to.
Oh, yeah.
From the skull
Yeah.
being thrown.
Oh, yeah, good. Yes, good point. Because that's where it was.
That spirit itself, the Vikings EMF.
Excuse me.
Okay, so you heard me mention Viking skull, right? So I think there might be a little bit of a clear thing of the Viking skeleton that's broken. Viking skull. So where the Viking skull was broken, bear in mind this was 3rd of March 2 years ago. Not long, like about 3 months after we moved in. The Viking skull was round about here, like full. And then a mysterious shadow figure was caught round here. On throwing the Viking skull down. Was that you breathing down the mic then?
Me?
Yeah, I heard.
Oh yeah, could be. I'm also vaping at the same time, so it could have been that.
Okay. It sounded really creepy. But yeah, we do have actual footage of the Viking skull breaking. Now what the owner does, he does not like to play pranks. He likes to just, if he comes in to do something, he's gonna get on with it. He does not like to mess about. I have done that many so much over time with him, like to work on some of behind the scenes stuff, to know this myself. Because if not, like it can be easily, you know, I get a lot of stuff can be easily faked, but um, yeah, he does like to piss about sometimes, which I do get. But he will never set up, like you wouldn't know if it's a genuine person because you would see them. And this is like on genuine camera as well, because you would see the person standing in the door, because it was like the head was like here, arm here, then like the arm comes, because it's like from the divot box here, like camera, like from the crypt, so like it's facing like this way into that corner. So you can't really, and you can see like the full door and everything. You know, and it's just absolutely insane. And that's what I was like talking about.
I'm getting that dryness.
Do we?
So yeah, there it is. That's the skull.
Mhm. Mhm.
Can I actually zoom in on that? I can't.
I
Why
don't think you
can't
can on YouTube.
No, but yeah, you can just about see it. Like,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, that skull was full at one point. So yeah. And that was just hectic in itself. Um, but what's even crazier is that I think I did like a little shirt spin on the divot box itself. Um, yeah, so like here, yeah, you kind of see me looking into the divot box.
Oh.
Bear in mind, all divot boxes, give or take, are dangerous. I don't fuck with them personally.
Me neither.
One, I do not care if they are open or closed. They can still affect you. That's what makes them dangerous. Because whatever's inside it can still affect you really badly. Which is like fucked up. They're supposed to like capture these demons, and the wax and chains are supposed to, keep them inside so you can't be. That's what, yeah. But this specific Dybbuk was opened elsewhere, but
Okay.
whatever was inside of it, we are unsure if it's still with it or not, or if it's been left at the last location. But this Dybbuk box is pretty calm. The one downstairs of the Forgotten Cave, that's the active bastard, which you'll see in like the final video, which I'm going to be making a part 4 on, which will be the actual last episode of the first season of Beyond the Normal, which I'm not going to share hints about, to actually get the evidence that it was a divot box in for the. Because it's like these videos of me at the museum do lead on in a way, so it's like telling a story. So it's like it has its own storyline without it being a story. So yeah, like this is all what was found in the divot box. It's insane.
It feels a little bit busy, really.
Mhm.
As you can see, we are genuinely
No.
we're getting bits and
I
bobs.
feel we've got like a two energies going.
We're just talking. We're chatting amongst us. There you go.
Oh yeah.
There it is. Henry's kind of like I am literally. I'm genuinely squatting down. I even sat down at one point because like it was getting on, and it was a genuine long night. Yeah, I am sat down like
Torch. Like just stand. I've got a piece of equipment over there, and I'm here.
I literally left.
Or the ribbon was purple.
Yes, they were.
Or
We're getting bits and bobs.
That was.
what time is it? Because I don't want Andrew to miss his bus.
Oh yeah, I'll have a couple more minutes.
Yeah, so we're just sat chatting about
Christianity and non-Christianity
Yeah.
and just
It
everything.
is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Causes a
So like we're kind of talking. So this is now and was going to be the new gift shop. The gift shop is still there, the new one, but it's going to be fucking demolished. So I shouldn't be giving away secrets. But yeah, this is Hattie's room, the clown room. And we're kind of like trying to talk to Hattie and some of the things that are inside.
Down.
Actually, we're kind of chilling. We're kind of talking.
I'm trying to raise the energy.
Go
Go
down.
down. Or are you talking to me? I do.
It's beautiful here.
So it's like this kind of thing.
You cannot touch.
So yeah, starts to kind of go bad. But here's where everything got. This, bear in mind, this is my first investigation. Before I do go into it, I want to apologize for Mary going to the toilet, which she does say, which I do say in the video. I got threatened. I'm generally being serious. This threat was like, I will harm you in a bad way. I'm like, no, 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 no. This is not happening. I'm not doing this. My mom was like, I want to go, like, so badly. Like, I know this is just like clips, but I was like, these videos I don't watch at all. Like, I leave it up to the viewers and such, to decide, you know. But a lot of this I have forgotten. Um, Pretty much. There's a lot of bits. There's a good few bits that I do remember from each investigations themselves. But looking back at this video, I am now realized I was being very much threatened. That's why in the next two videos, you do not see me going near the cabinet room. One, because like there was so many spirits there, and I just felt a heavy presence, and I couldn't, you know. There was we used to hold events at the museum, like ghost hunting events, and the last one I went on, there was like a corner. Uh, in this video, you'll see the Day of the Dead. It's where Hattie now is. Like in that corner, I had to move towards the team member that I was with because I had to switch with another guy. Because I was being touched, I felt something like a present, and it wasn't like, it was just unbelievable. And the person that I was talking to, like just like diagonal from me, was the exact same. So I was very uncomfortable in that room. But the morgue, that is one place I will never go into in the dark, unless I've got a torch, of course. Unless I've got a torch, I'm happy with that. But investigating there, no, because of personal reason, being threatened now, which I remember, which is what you're going to see.
Or hurt any one of us, we are very protected.
Effort.
Effort. So it's effort in trying to touch you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where-
My camera does go off. I'm sorry. I'll try and salvage as much as this as best as I can. But yeah, it's just been a whole lot of Evelyn. It's just been a whole lot of
Like, it
reasons.
starts off like, yeah, okay.
You know, tonight, from the Forgotten Cave to the exit to Hattie's room. You know, I'm gonna try and piece together as much as I can for this.
Wait, did I said evil right there, didn't I?
I'm gonna try and piece together
Said
as
Evelyn.
much as I can for this video. It's
Tears of blood.
This is where it starts getting dark.
This is my first proper investigation. I do want to give a shout out to the Museum of Curiosities where I work, and the colleagues that have joined me. Andrew, the museum.
I was scared. I'm
Mary
still
as well,
scared
who's
till this
been,
day.
You know,
I've been working at that museum for just over 2 years. Tuesday night, actually, we had to open all the doors in the cabinet room. And the presence of me opening, because we had to like have these like kind of like bug bombs set off like that will kill anything in there, like bugs, flies, that kind of thing. Because it was like because it's summertime and it's like kind of getting to that stage where it's getting really bad for us, and that's what they only did Tuesday night. And I opened each one of them doors, and it was just getting worse and worse. And the feeling was, I'm so fucking heavy. After about 2 hours of like kind of shutting up them doors, it's like, yeah, yeah. It'll be pretty cool to investigate with every single door in the cabinet room completely open, but because it's not going to be there when I do the next investigation, I'm gonna have to try and find something else. But yeah, this is where it continues to still go downhill. I become very afraid. I shout up to Mary, who is on the poor Mary, who is still on the toilet.
Given me so much guidance through this as well. It's been absolutely amazing. I definitely do plan to investigate more here as well. I'm not gonna. The only one room that I'm never gonna record in is the cabinet room, just probably out of respect. But
Okay, so when I did this video, we would just about, because the rules sometimes change. Before there was like no videos, no photography, absolutely anywhere in the museum. And then the rule changed to like photos and videos were allowed to be taken, and then this was like we was just allowed to record in there. But I did it again, like I said, I did it out of respect because I was scared. That's the only reason. I don't think I ever say it in the videos, but I was scared, and that's why I don't do it.
it's not saying that I don't have respect.
I can't protect you.
Oh,
Oh,
my
God.
fucking days. No. Oh, guys, this is just.
So, have you ever heard of Denbigh Asylum up in Wales?
Vaguely, yes.
So, I do not show it here because the camera is like facing back way. But the three tables that we have kind of to like more of like this side here, but a bit on the other side of where I was because I put it on the autopsy table, so it was like next to the autopsy table. Let's just say they actually genuinely came from Denbigh Asylum itself, and I've been told they are in the asylum itself, in the morgue itself. It's a hit and miss. You know, people get things, some people don't. So it's one of them. Denbigh Asylum is now being turned into a block of flats. So it is there no more. But yeah, the fact that I was actually getting horrible, like being something saying I cannot protect you. How would that not scare you? Like, oh, tears of blood. I cannot protect you. What the fuck?
I'm not even kidding, like.
Back.
It just said, I can't protect you, and then back.
Back?
Yeah,
That's me.
yeah. Before that, it said, I can't protect you.
Like, I am genuinely
What you've
scared.
missed so far is attach, don't tell people, photos, we have eyes on you, mood, Evelyn, tears of blood, can't protect you, back, coffin.
Plan.
Plan. Do you have a plan?
So, That was the original team for Denby Sound itself, and then that was Denby. How huge Denby was in one small photo. And then you got like a little bit of information.
Actually, just general can't. I just can't believe what is happening right now.
You can definitely tell. There is two. You've got me, who is absolutely shitting myself, and then you've got Mary, with like, she's intrigued and she's interested. Like, yes, I was like kind of enjoying this bit a little, but I really wanted to get out of there so bad. But I stayed and I wanted to get the evidence. That's how much this meant to me.
In what respect? What you're getting? Or
Yeah,
is it freaking you out?
it's freaking me out a little
Yeah.
with what it's saying, but also in the terms of like, this is really great evidence.
Yeah.
It's like kind of both ways.
Bearing in
By the way,
mind
I've
it
not
was
watched
your
this back
first
at all,
factual
like
one
completely.
Yeah.
as well. So the more you hear, the more it's like exciting for you as well.
Oh yeah.
Because of what you're getting coming through.
I think it's because, like I said earlier, they know us, they're chilled around us.
The thing with Mary is she oversees ghosts. I know I spoke about Mary earlier, but it's the fact that in each and every video, you will see her guiding me. Not only on camera, but she guides me off camera as well. Any ghost hunting that I will now do. Okay, the next investigation I'm gonna do completely alone. The first time, like the full like hours, whereas like it's just like 2 hours. I'm fucking off. No, because in the second video I do go completely alone. I have a radio on me, and I just genuinely couldn't do it. I tried. That's how much. But you'll see her like having moments like this, just genuinely guiding me. And then you know, got dark. We're in the doll room.
Bear with us.
Mexican doll island doll room.
So we've now come in to join you in the Mexican doll island room.
Wait, hold on. Why am I only noticing this? There is not a what? No, wait, what? Hold on. Surely I pick up the camera, right? That is weird. Okay, so like we're talking to Tommy and the spirits possibly from the Mexican doll island, or you know. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna keep replaying it. But watch the crap, too far. But bear in mind there is no wind, there is no nothing within that room itself. All doors are shut. Watch the dolls around me.
So we're trying to get through this a little bit as quick as we can. So
The dolls, umbrella, and everything starts moving.
So we've now come in to join you in the Mexican doll island room. Is there any way that you could turn some of the dolls?
Horses.
Can you see how things just generally keep moving as I go?
Tommy. Hi, Walter.
As you can tell, I am absolutely
Hello.
oblivious.
I am so
I
sorry.
did knock that
Notice that
doll.
I always put my other dolls.
I knock a lot.
They, like, touch me.
I just
The
looked
ones
straight
you
at
did
it.
knock was the umbrella and the doll beside it, and the one that you just touched. But
Yep.
the one
So
with the
watch.
Do you need the
the
torch
pink
on?
Yep.
jacket, you didn't.
So this one I have knocked, and this one I have knocked. These two
Mhm.
are the most
When I came to
ones that
investigate
we
here
have
last time,
knocked.
I was standing
That people generally knocked.
here where I
Mainly the
thought it
umbrella.
was.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
if
the
I
one
jumped
with the
Easily
down
just
pink that moved a
and I felt
bunch.
something behind me, maybe a child devices.
For me?
Okay, see, as we go along, watch that. Watch.
See the one with I think it's like a pink sweater or something? That one is
This one
moving a
here.
bunch.
Hi, Robert.
No, the one in the back next to the baby's head.
They're
That
also
one?
moving.
Yeah, they are moving like crazy.
If you notice, I look into the camera. The camera, because the way my camera face works is I can flip it so I can see. If you notice,
Hmm.
me and Mary are absolutely oblivious to this.
Yeah, see the one with the pink is moving
Do you
a
visit me?
lot.
But watch this doll here. Watch. Watch the one across from the pink, like this one here.
Okay.
As I go forward
Can you
and
maybe...
back.
I'm pouring.
Yeah, they're
Do you-
moving the same direction. Do you see that? See those two dolls? They're moving the same direction
But
each time.
also watch
The one
this
in the
one.
pink and the
They're all moving in the same direction, all together, all
yeah.
three.
Oh,
Watch.
yeah. And at the same time.
Do you have any portals?
We haven't got any mirrors either, so...
Okay, so I might know what
Katie,
that might
show us a
be.
portal.
That's not the door. That's the. Wait.
So
The
spirits
door's
can
on this side.
go
I think we might have had
Remind me
like a
of
cabinet or
someone.
something.
Get out.
Yeah, so our Billy the Puppet, where the camera is, our Billy the Puppet and Tommy is on. Tommy is behind me and all this
Okay.
and that.
I felt like, I don't know if it was my light, because it's
Oh
like,
my god.
you know, like it was like, was you?
They're still going.
Or
The pink one
battery
at the bottom.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so.
So as you can see, that's like the end of the video. But that is absolutely insane. I'm gonna go through like probably a couple more clips. Which one do you want to see? The one out of the museum, or do you want to see episode 2? Or because we can like continue this on like off camera. I'll let
I
you
mean,
choose.
what we can do is like do another podcast episode, maybe like next week or something, where we talk about this second video because it's getting
Yeah,
quite late here, anyways. And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
maybe we
getting.
can talk about some more experiences or whatever for a bit, and then I'm gonna head off to bed.
yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm gonna start sharing. But I think overall, from what you've personally seen, what do you think?
So
Uh,
when I was watching the video, I had like a couple hunches, and for me, like I'm not saying I'm a medium or whatever in any shape or form. Um,
yeah,
the only thing I do have is a really good intuition,
yeah,
and I trust that a lot. So I've had a lot of times where I've been watching videos about investigations, and it just pops into my head like the next thing that's gonna happen in the video, and
yeah.
I had that with this video too. What I did have is like, first of all, Mary has like a very positive vibe to her. Like if I would be next to her, I would feel safe the entire time.
Oh, I genuinely was. Cause she was the first. Like I've known Mary since I visited, so she's the longest person I knew. Going.
Hmm.
And she always has. Cause she's a witch herself. Cause we do sell spell kits, but she's made the spell kits to sell and stuff. So she's working on her altar at the minute. Kind of expanding it, like getting another shelf and stuff. But she's absolutely lovely. But yeah, that was think that journey alone, kind of like skipping through bits and going through each room. What we did find out that whatever it was, I did say it. You heard me say it in the morgue that it, from the first bit, where I was like saying, I know it didn't catch on because like that was very long in itself, and I just kind of want to cut that bit out. Like that was like an hour in itself, and like an hour and 20. So I want to show that. So if you did want to go watch that full clip, you can. But it was starting to get very religious and very, but it was like quite evil down in the morgue, which got me scared. I know we have a fair bit of evil entities, but they are more on the downkeep from Katie, who is the guardian, to keep all the good spirits, like to keep the good spirits protected. So she'll keep the darker ones down a tone. But to say how religious it was through the night, which is another thing that I completely forgot about, which is mentioned. It was just honestly crazy. But yeah, I had fun doing that. To be honest, shit myself, but it was fun.
I think that's like with everybody that wants to get into investigating. I feel like the first couple of investigations, you're gonna be scared shitless for sure. Because when I haven't done paranormal investigations. I've done a lot of haunted tours and stuff like that, and stuff happening. And with me, I'm a person that like kind of like feeds off emotions or energies and stuff like that. It's the same with like people and stuff. If someone is in like a very negative mood, I will like get into the same mindset because I'm
Yeah,
just feeding off that energy. So it's the same when I do haunted tours. I just feed off the energy that's given to me. So it's like some rooms I would feel awful in, some rooms I would be fine. It's a lot of like energy based, and if you're
yeah,
like an empath and stuff like that, you'll definitely feel that when you do stuff like that. And I think a lot of the times with paranormal investigations, you have to like kind of listen to your intuition as well, because a lot of it is giving you the answers that you need. So especially like if you're doing
yeah,
spirit box or atlas box stuff like that, a lot of it, the first thing that pops into your head, believe that, because a lot of the times you are correct. So for example, when you were like talking about your experiences like down in the tunnel area where you said you had a bad experience, the first thing I got in
yes,
my head is you had a physical reaction. That's the first thing that popped into my head. So I'm saying
yeah.
like really listen to your intuition. And I had one thing, and I don't, is there like a spirit in the museum that starts with an M?
Um, I did mention it earlier. It was Mammon.
Yeah,
But
because
we've also got Mama and Granddad, and we've got a Mare. We've got a few M's.
yeah, because
So
like before you said those names, I was looking at the gravestone, and the first thing that popped into my head was something with a name that starts with M.
okay. Oh, hold on. Um, you might be referring to the unknown school then.
I
Um,
don't know, but I was
be-
looking at the gravestone, and the only thing I thought of like, oh, the name starts with the letter M.
so that is a crazy coinkydink. So what I'm going to explain to you is about the schools. Elizabeth is the one with the write up. She's a lesser full one that you saw in the
Mhm,
video, and every haunted artifact gets investigated by the owner. End of, just to make sure. Um,
mhm,
but with Elizabeth, she sometimes likes to appear as a shadow figure, and that she likes to give people physical emotions as well. With the physical emotions, completely different for each individual. With the unknown, it will vary. The most common, but we do have had names from her. The most two common names are Mary and Margaret,
Mm-hmm.
but we get a lot of M's, MAs, that kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
And we've had a few male names here and there, but we're unsure. But another thing that's crazy is we've had full descriptions of the unknown skull from people themselves. It's
Mm-hmm.
like how, but also we've had what the unknown skull is also going to do is give people physical reactions as well, which
Mm-hmm.
is happened on my shift. But yeah, that's a little bit about the scores and how you got an M from that kind of like period in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even told you about the scores. I told you you've got the unknown and you've got Elizabeth. That is all I said. I never mentioned
Yeah, you didn't
the
say anything
information.
about the names.
I never mentioned anything up until now, which was
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying like I have stuff that I just can't explain or have uh, an explanation for. I just kind of
Yeah,
like have stuff that pop into my head.
yeah. Uh, that's a really
Um,
great thing.
yeah, mostly I just put it on intuition because I don't really have another explanation for it.
Yeah. Um, but out of every investigation obviously I think we're gonna like probably pick this back up sometime next week.
Mm.
Um, from that first video of like me kind of like skipping through, like kind of go through bits of it because it is like 3 hours long, or like
Mhm.
exactly like no, it's 1 hour and 59 minutes long. Like a second one from being 2 hours long. Video compared to other videos that you have seen. Like,
So
oh
the first thing that popped into my head is like when I saw this investigation compared to if you look at like content creators. So if you look at
yeah,
Simon Colby, if you look at like what
yeah,
um what in what was interesting to me is that the what were you using? You weren't using Spirit Box. It was something compared to like Alice Box, something that
it
gives you
was the
words.
Spirits Talker.
Right,
It's
Spirit
a
Talk.
device on
So
the phone.
it the thing that um is cool to me is that you're getting so many different words that are completely different than the things that you would see in a content creator's video because it's like very like vague words that you can't really put like an explanation to or like a storyline
Yeah,
to, and with this you can, because when it says like I can't protect you, that to me felt like there's like a spirit in that area that was trying to protect you from something that was being negative towards you or feeding that towards you, and it couldn't.
yeah,
That's the first thing that like came into my head when I heard that. And like
yeah.
stuff like that in content creators videos, you wouldn't see stuff like that,
No, so it's
especially
like
words like that.
it was like it. I like this is what I like my videos are raw. Like I as you've seen, like you saw that was like straight to our video. I didn't like did the intro,
Mhm.
but I after I stopped recording, I took a break between each recording, talk about what things have happened and how I can progress from there. And
Mhm.
then I went back to recording. Put all that, tried to edit it as best as I could. I think there was like maybe like a little bit more footage, but I kind of like but I just left it. I just put everything together. I did not go through any of it. Any of it. Downloaded it to my PC, uploaded it. Never watched it again.
Mhm.
Um, I've tried watching through my own investigations, but I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think as well with that spirit talker, I am going to admit this hugely. It can repeat itself. That is gonna
Mhm.
something I will say it in like some of the videos that you're gonna see. I'm like I admit it, it's gonna repeat, and it does come out with some really fucking brilliant things, but it will repeat sometimes. Um, and that's me being honest. I'm not faking it. I do say it in the
Mhm.
video. If I don't, I'm saying it now, just for a heads up. Um,
There's one spirit box, which is like the most famous spirit box there is out there, which is called the Huff Box.
okay.
The creator of that spirit box has also made an app, uh, for Apple users, I think, and it's a spirit box as well, and it kind of uses the same stuff that that the Huff Box uses. There's only, I don't know how many Huff Boxes there are out there, but not a lot. It's literally like less than 10.
Is it called the
Um,
Necromancer?
no, it's called the Huff Box, and
Okay.
it was somebody, a YouTuber who made it
Yeah.
to kind of like talk to spirits and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
he's like very I would say he's very like spiritual based, but as in like Christianity.
Yeah.
Um, so he's like a really cool investigator.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just called the Huff Box. There's only a couple out there.
Yeah.
Wonder Box is called, and it was made in 2018, and there's hardly any of them out there.
Yeah. Hmm. There is one method that I do say that I have used, and it will be continuously used. Um, is the Estes method.
Oh yeah,
Uh, that you will see that method. It probably like I think if this is gonna become like a thing, like it will be probably like the sixth episode. No, fifth, because if the next one's gonna be fourth, yeah. That's where I investigate out the ye olde salutation in. Now with that video, I will put a heads up out there. I do say it in the start. Um, Again, going back to the whole X-Friend thing, I used to live with him. He was my teammate at the time. Things went completely wrong. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. But when we recorded this, we did do downstairs in the cave, which they had, but we wasn't getting anything. We had like a little. All right, the thing that we did that we wanted to use most importantly was this. Like, we saw a little mouse down there, and I was saying like, "Oh, I want to touch all this and that," like zooming in on the fucking mouse, and it was just like a completely off-script skit. Um, that footage of the cave when I was selling my laptop, we thought it was back on the camera on the SD card. We found out later the hard way that that footage was not there at all. But we had barely any evidence of anything down there anyway, so it kind of didn't matter in a way. But yeah, we kind of did the whole. There's a whole hour version of the attic which you will see of things happening. But yeah,
okay. The I If I ever would do an investigation, I would probably try to do like do you know like the intuition cards? Um,
the oracles.
like it's kind of, yeah, kind of like, so you've got like cards that have like yes written on it, or no, or maybe,
Yeah,
or like and you would flip them round, and then just based on your intuition you would ask a question, then flip a card that you feel that is
yeah.
guiding you towards that card. That's
Okay,
probably
yeah,
something I would do.
yeah. Which does make sense. Um, yeah, it could possibly work. As an investigator, I like to try all sorts of methods. Just to um see what works, see what doesn't. The K2s absolutely work. The thousand rods I will still continuously to use. Again, I use thousand rods in kind of a lot of my videos now when doing these investigations because they work straight off the bat. And yeah, the REM pod is a hit and miss.
Mm.
If it dies, it's probably because haven't bought any batteries. That's that's where I go wrong. It's restocking on batteries and stuff like these investigations. That's my problem. which I need to get a control of. That
Yeah,
yeah.
probably my favorite equipment I would say is probably Spirit Box always. I love the SS method. K2 is great. Music Box is also quite cool.
Oh, I would
Those are
love
probably
to
my
own
top
one.
favorites. Yeah.
I would love to, but they are so. I get told to look on eBay for this stuff. That's where my REM pod came from.
Yeah, probably
This is
eBay is the best.
this is my second actual REM pod, funnily enough. Because the first one, spoiler alert, came from Spirit Shack, which was a bit dodgy. Yeah, nah. This one is a lot better. It has everything.
Mhm.
But in the live stream that I did, it was funny. I thought it just died. Something, it just wasn't working. Right. I didn't put the battery in correctly. That's what happened. That's why it wasn't working.
I
Okay,
mean, makes
spin
sense if
some.
it's in wrong.
Yeah, but usually it's either because the batteries. I think I did mention in the live stream. Oh, the batteries died or something like stupid like that. Turns out it wasn't in properly. That it's either it's good. I know, even if I get insurance back, it's not gonna be that the spirits that's break it or the people that's gonna. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. I know for a fact. If anything dies or and I haven't broken, I know that's just I forgot.
Clumsiness
That's
comes with the job.
oh hugely. And that's a trend that you see in a lot of my videos because last year I used to record that was filmed in February. So over, I think, yeah, just like short of a month, where I decided after that it was going to be like, because I was planning to film every month, but because of the expensive and shit, I couldn't do it. So I decided to do it every other month, where that month in between was where I was able to edit the videos, get the equipment that I needed, and then record the next month, which will be like because by the time that video was edited, it would be by the end of the month it would be released. So kind of like have a whole month to gather its views, to gather a lot of things, and then while I'm like recording the next video, I can do the same.
Mhm.
And I did that for so long, and then I took such a huge break, and then came back to it. And then now I have taken the longest break away from it because I'm busy doing some things. Still working at the museum, but because my insurance ended and I didn't have enough. Again, my fault. I didn't have enough money in my bank to have that insurance. So I'm gonna get insurance round about next month. Put a deposit on a night vision camera, like secondhand. Kind of bring back the old ghost style hunting, while planning out locations and cheap places,
Mhm.
the smaller places, rather than like the huge places in a way that's like well known today.
I
Um,
think the top 10 is probably like Winchester House, Queen Mary, Lizzie Borden House, probably
yeah.
Salem. Like those are the major top ones.
Oh, 100%. As well as the actual Conjuring House as well.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Conjuring House is massive. I don't think I would ever step foot in that house, to be fair.
Now here's the thing. Uh, one of someone that I know, Tyler Reynolds, when he started investigating, because I actually if you go back to that first video of my first ever Spooked Up podcast, I think I called it something else then. It was like a temporary name. Like it was a Hell Tower podcast that I originally named it. It was a
Mhm.
temporary name up until I came up. How I got the name Spooked Up was actually from my supposed second channel, which was supposed to be like my all my ghost hunting channel. This was supposed to be like my main channel, where it's just like king anything everything. But it's kind of swapped over to this is my main channel. I want to do this kind of like to show people. as a not only an interest but want to continue doing it as a job.
Mhm.
That's how. But Spooked Up came from that, was that secondary channel, and it got turned into the actual podcast name, which is quite cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, I talked to Tyler himself about the contract because I go back and watch his first video. Um, they're like at the time him and Josh released a video at this like abandoned haunted place where it's just like puddles and you can like hear other people. Um, and yeah, I kind of got a lot of behind the scenes on that.
Mhm.
And his videos get like a lot of views as well. How I didn't get how I didn't get any views on that. Wait, how many views did I get on that actually? Because I'm very curious. Um, 28 views where I generally sit there talking about that specific video just completely amazes me. And how it got only 28 views. It should have been a lot more if it was, But I think I'm I was like uploading every month, but it's just like now.
Yeah, what it is
Um,
with people like watching views and stuff like that, it's mostly like a lot of it is visual based. So
it is.
a lot of it will click if it's visually pleasing, otherwise it would probably just skip it. That's why like all major content creators have like these expensive as ass microphones and expensive ass cameras, stuff like that. It really sucks because like back in the day when YouTube just started and people actually started like releasing content, it was so
Yeah.
different back then.
Like
Um,
they wasn't even get like when YouTube came out, there was no such thing as getting paid. Like honestly.
oh no, for sure.
And then I like um you see these OG content creators, PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, Jake Paul, KSR,
Yeah,
Jacksepticeye, Markiplier,
yeah.
back in the day they weren't getting paid. Now they're getting like paid millions.
I know, but try
Com
to compete with that now. It's crazy.
uh this is why I struggle to like kind of find because like when I'm watching YouTube, like that's how I kind of get all my ideas as well as off my girlfriend just by looking at her for some reason. So that's how I sometimes get ideas.
Hmm.
But um, the reason why I don't post on YouTube as much is because like 5 years I've been doing this for like 5 years, almost like six.
Yeah, I think
Fucking
it's like
crazy.
if you want to, I guess, like get out there more, I would say like TikTok is probably now is everybody's best friend. I think that's like, if you get like a one hit wonder, you're in. And then if you already have stuff released on YouTube, they will probably go and see that as well. So it's
Yeah,
it's kind of like a gamble. You
yeah.
never
It's
know with
like
these type of things.
but I think more with YouTube, it's so strict. It's gotten worse and worse. It's like Elton Castell, who runs the overnight channel and the TFI, TFIL,
Yeah,
he's
TFIL.
um he's having problems with actual YouTube at the minute because he was releasing a series of videos that would just get instantly demonetized
Mm-hmm.
um for some stupid reason. Um Shout out to Elton Castell. You are amazing. By the way, like completely. Um, love your videos. Love your ghost hunting kind of style. Just be
I swear the literally the level of growth this man went through is crazy because at the beginning he was so like fuck all of this, like I don't care which ghost I piss off, I'm gonna piss off everybody, and then eventually it just like gradually changed.
it's because he had that one experience where he actually got fucked over himself. Um,
Yeah.
but I do kind of, but he has kind of now gone back to that way. But um, I don't watch a lot of the overnight videos anymore. I think it's kind of like um it's different. It's a different style, and I think that's what kind of drew me like away from it. But I still watch it, like try and watch them when I can. I try and watch the full video, but sometimes I just can't make it through a full video. But he's doing it in the way that he should. But also, now this is gonna be a big hit to all the Sam Colby fans out there, as well as Corey and Elton fans as well. Yes, Corey and Elton had a very massive dispute. Elton had the proof, legal proof, paperwork, and everything in a video. So if you guys don't want to check that out,
There's like videos. There's a video on YouTube that Elton did, and then there's one that Corey did on TikTok.
yeah. So if you guys do want to kind of check out their controversy, feel free. No, do not go hate on them. They're both as equally good as each other. People can turn bad, but the one thing that I do want to see again is Elton, Sam, and Colby.
Yeah, that was like ages ago.
Yeah, and they said all four of. I know Cora was part of that video as well. They said there was all returning for more future stuff. I've not seen that. No one has seen it. Because obviously there was rumors about Elton. When the I can't remember if Jake was there at the time that it happened or before Jake, because I think it was Aaron. Aaron before then Jake, where Colby used to um uh uh I don't know how to explain without trying to censor myself. Um, but there's like allegations that Elton revealed. Let's just say Elton revealed Colby's scars without you know he was forcing Colby to show scars on camera and all this and that. Um, but everything has been cleared up. They have had that chat in the past. But it's like, was it like, because we see Elton as this guy, like this really fun guy and stuff, but there hasn't been too much talk about it, so we don't know the full history because
So
Colby did not say anyone.
to be
Neither did
fair,
Santos.
see what it is with these kind of situations. Like when they were living together, they were young. They were like they just got out off of Vine, so they might have been like 16, 18 when all of that stuff went down, and
Yeah.
everybody who's around that age like makes mistakes or does dumb shit, and like especially around that age you don't know about consequences. You don't know if you make a big mistake what the consequences will be.
Oh
um
yeah.
and I feel like especially now, like they're all older, they've aged. Elton's got married, like Colby's got a girlfriend who he's super happy with,
Sam's
and
back to being single again after what
Sam
happened with
being some Katrina. Yeah, I'd love them
because he
together.
had a
They were so cute.
because when Colby got a girlfriend, which a lot of Colby fans were pissed about.
Yeah,
No hate. It, obviously Colby has been single since they started the channel, since throughout secondary school,
so
and then
he was dating somebody secretly for a long time because he was just scared of the reaction that he would get, and of course like the hate that she would get, which I completely understand.
but when my the weird thing is, it's like going back to, I think it was like round Coachella time 2 years ago now, or it might have been last year. One of the two. Sam broke up with his girlfriend. It was only like a few months. As soon as Colby got a girlfriend, Sam also got a girlfriend as well. And then about a few days later, Sam's girlfriend just disappeared out of nowhere. There was no, comment about it, or it was like that kind of thing. Whereas like Colby and Molly are still together, they're still posting cute pictures and all that together, which is kind of nice. But it's weird that there's no evidence of what happened between Sam and or maybe his new girlfriend is. It's just weird.
Yeah, see, it's the thing that's so complicated about being a content creator, and it's always going to be a very transparent line, is like where what information do you give out to the public? What information do you want to keep for yourself? It's something that they will have to figure out as a content creator on their own. And I think we as fans and also watchers should just keep in mind that there's still people, and they're still, living their life. They're
Yeah,
still they still experience the same stuff that we experience. So I think like if he had a girlfriend and then just disappeared, I don't think he really owes us an explanation, even though
which
people think like he's a content creator, so he owes us one. That's kind of the thing.
yeah,
Is
I think it's
But
like
I don't
kind
think
of
he
like
does.
I think it's kind of what my question is like you can just say, oh, like I don't want to be like I want to kind of like keep her and that kind of thing private, so I won't be posting like that kind of thing. Just
Hmm.
like putting it out there, like he wants to, because Sam posts so much of his life like online daily. Like he posts about his runs, he posts about like life quotes because he's a philanthropist, like philosophist, or whatever you call him. Because he has his own other thing as well called Dumb and Wise, which is like you know him saying like coming up with quotes and stuff, like him talking about his life lessons and such like that. But like another connection after that, kind of going back to how he is now with Ghost on it, it's like that whatever happened there where he just randomly stopped posting her, that's where things got a bit mm.
Yeah.
With his ghost hunting videos. It's like you can see that little bit of a connection, whereas Colby, bless him, one ball wonder,
Yeah.
love him to bits, but
Yeah,
it's
I
more or less
think I think
yeah.
like with Sam and Colby, I think they'll always like have a place in my heart when it comes to like ghost hunters, because they were like the first, besides Zach, who I used to watch. And
Yeah,
especially like now, with I don't know what they're going through privately, and that's all up to to them.
yeah,
But there something has happened, that their investigation style has changed, and why Sam is pushing it so much. And um you just have to be careful, honestly, and just like put the time in to figure out what is going on.
yeah. Again, no hate towards these guys. They are like these two lads who did really reinvent ghost hunting itself,
100%.
in a way, and that's why you see so many other new ghost hunters pop up, such as Twin Paranormal became famous off of like being close to them as well. Haunted Nights, Steve Bro, uh, and Dylan.
Or Selena
Um,
and Chris.
yeah. Um, the boys, who is a group from that consists of like three, two Americans, three now because Eddie is now an illegal American. He's no longer Mexican. Uh, no, but he has a green card. You got the three. You got the Mexican, which is Eddie. You got Narita and Juicy, who are Americans, and we've got Molly and Josh, who are Australian. Dave works with Sam Colby. Nikki herself, um, she gained her popularity back in such a way. Um, through Sam Colby, Tommy Innit, and Jack Manifold. Again, Tommy Innit, Jack Manifold, and Nikki were once bigger, like during 2020. Probably like for like a year or 3 years, between 1 and 3 years, and then when the Dream SMP died, like was dying, and the whole thing with Dream and such, they kind of died off to do their own thing. Again, no hate towards these guys, but they also got kind of back off famous through that in a way. Um, but my personal advice to any new ghost hunters out there: going go in with an open mind, learn about the history on your break. Um, if you have an empath or a medium with you, um, just kind of like be careful if you don't know them very well. Um,
Mhm.
Josie here, absolutely amazing. She is absolutely amazing. She didn't even know that was kind of the thing. As she's had some experiences herself as well as myself, which we'll probably go more into next episode as it is getting really late. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say or add on?
Uh, Probably I would say that if people start ghost hunting and like going out there and just experiencing everything, just be careful of what energy you bring to the table, and definitely respect boundaries. So if if a ghost is telling you, or an entity is telling you to leave it alone, listen to it. Don't don't overstep boundaries, and just also don't overstep your own boundaries. If you feel uncomfortable in a situation, you can leave. You can say, I wanna pause. Just try to
Yeah,
stay as safe as
safe.
possible.
Yeah. If you ever do come down to England when you what because you said you was going to be moving back to Scotland at some point. So if you ever
At
do
some point,
come back,
yes.
yeah, if you ever do come to England, and I've got my insurance, I'll probably take you on a go some like in about a year or two. Um, so you can actually see for yourself and how I work
Mhm.
in person. Um, so yeah, hopefully that'll
Yeah.
be a lot more professional in that terms. To have
Well, to be fair,
guests
I
on.
am not a professional in any of this either. Like, the things I know are the things that I've learned through other investigators from doing research myself, and
Yeah,
also like still with like all the experiences I've had and stuff like that. I am not saying I'm a medium, whatever, like stuff like that. I'm not saying that. The only thing I have
yeah,
is just gut feeling, intuition, and if I have anything inside me that is partially medium, I don't know. I haven't like researched about that
yeah,
myself or gone into that. So,
yeah. I think that's like the main thing. From like what I've said earlier, I think go to a spiritual church, go talk to a bunch of mediums, see what you think. But
yeah,
yeah,
and I think
it's
everybody has like their own like story when it comes to like the paranormal and what you want to do with it. Some people just want to leave it, and some people want to dive into it. That's like your own choice, your own decision.
yeah, and that's what this podcast is all about. We share, or if Josie does want to become a regular host on this, she is more than welcome to. Um, this is all about your paranormal experiences, how scary, that kind of thing. As I'll be sharing mine, um, and things like that. I think, um, that's what this podcast is all about, all the spookiness, with a mix in with a bit of like comedic way, trying to bring some light to the paranormal, never the dark side. And I could potentially like I own a few haunted artifacts myself, so like I'm being respectful out of my way. I as well as working with them, it's like you just gotta go a long way to respect these spirits. Not the alcohol, yeah, I don't know how I can lead on. I never can know how to lead on from that joke, but these ghosts and these entities, just be respectful. New investigators, like Joe said, do things at your own time, your own pace, stay safe. And I think
And share your
that's
stories with others because it's really interesting.
yeah, that is a huge thing. Is there any chance that just a quick question for you, Josie. Do you want me
Mhm.
to link any of your socials so people can like go follow you and stuff?
Can do. The only
Um,
thing I do want to say is there's nothing like paranormal or anything on my socials. It's mostly music based. So if you're interested in that, then of course go ahead and
yeah,
follow
like
that.
that. Yeah. Do you want me to like link down? Is there any specific socials that you want me to link down, like Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, or something
Um,
like that?
so
Or
I Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube probably. I have been streaming on Twitch as well, but I have been off for a bit because I've got finals in 3 weeks. So
ooh,
um, yeah. So I would say Spotify, Instagram are
oh yeah,
the main two.
yeah. So I'll probably link them down in the description below, so you can go and follow Josie here and listen along to her wonderful and awesome and creative music as well. But other than that, we shall be back with episode 4 of the Spooked Up podcast. But other than that, I shall leave you out on a banging tune of this. Okay, maybe I need to edit.